Vinyasa Express. And if you have a pair of blocks, go ahead and grab those. You may also want a blanket. If you don't have blocks, you may want a stack of books or some big books that can serve you like blocks. I'm going to turn this music down and we'll get started. We'll begin in child's pose, and here is where you may want that blanket for beneath your knees. So to come to child's pose, just come to hands and knees, tabletop position, and then let those knees go as wide as your mat. Let your toes come together or toward one another. Sink your bum back onto the heels of those feet, and then walk those hands forward as you lay your upper body onto the earth. Rest your forehead on your mat, or you can grab a blanket for cushion, another blanket, or maybe your blanket is big enough. Then we're just going to rest here in child's pose for a few minutes. I am going to come out of it so you can hear me talk, but you stay in child's pose. Unless you don't want to, and then you can come out if you want. So allow your eyes to close, or just soften your gaze. I know you're probably just looking at your mat, so it may just be better to close those eyes. Allow yourself to arrive more fully in this space, in this moment in time. Take a big inhale in through your nose. Let it go through your mouth. One more time, big inhale in through your nose. And let it go, exhale. Maybe wiggle your hips side to side to get a little bit deeper into that child's pose. Or maybe you just stay right where you are. And check in with your body, noticing how your body feels today. Are you holding any stress or tension in any particular places? Or maybe your body feels a bit restless and you're tensing up for those reasons, in which case this movement today will probably help you. Just notice how your body feels and allow the air with each inhale to cleanse the body. Allow the air to wash through the entire body, cleansing and releasing. As you exhale, release whatever you're holding in your body. And take a moment to check in with your mind, noticing what thoughts or feelings are hanging out today. Are they new thoughts or feelings? Or are they old patterns and habits? On your next inhale, envision sending that air to your mind space, allowing it to wrap around anything that you're holding on to there, and as you exhale, just release those thoughts, even if they seem to be good and helpful thoughts. So allow yourself to release everything from your mind. Allow yourself to just be with your body for a moment. And if you would like to set an intention for your practice today, I invite you to do so. Intention can serve as your anchor, keeping you rooted in each present moment as your mind seeks to wander. When you have selected your intention or allowed it to select you, we'll seal it in together with as deep an inhale as you can take, and an open mouth exhale. One more big inhale in through the nose. Big open mouth exhale. And feel free to stay in child's pose as long as you like. When you're ready, press those hands into the earth to rise up to tabletop. And just find a nice, gentle, neutral tabletop. Maybe you sway those hips side to side. My hips just automatically seem to start doing this when I get in tabletop, so I think they like that. Anyway, so we're going to start with warming up our wrists. So let those hands point fingers away from one another, and the hands are still, the wrists are still stacked beneath those shoulders. Spread the fingers wide and then begin to shift your weight side to side, finding movement in those wrists, warming up those wrists because we're going to need them. Hint, hint. Notice if you have any stickiness or tightness in the wrist, any pain. If you have pain, there are some things today that may not be so good for your wrists, and so feel free to adapt or modify as you need to, and definitely honor the limits of your body today. Let's take one more breath here. And then come back to center with the body. Turn the fingers to point toward the knees, still about shoulder width apart. Slight bend in the elbows. And without lifting the heel of your hand, shift your weight back as far as you can to feel that stretch throughout the wrist. Woo, I feel it. My wrist must not be warm today. I don't know why. I've been using them. Maybe that's why they feel it. Continue to breathe. And then release that stretch. Shake it out if you need to. And then we'll bring those fingers to face one another. Still about shoulder width apart. And just gently sway side to side, placing the weight of your body to one side and then to the other. Just finding movement in those wrists. Let's waste time chasing clouds. One more breath here. And then bring those hands back to a neutral tabletop place and shift your weight forward and back. Like your shoulders are coming beyond your wrist when you come forward, and then when you go back, you're almost going to a child's pose, but not quite. We're just finding that movement in the wrist. If you want to change this and add some circles, feel free to do that. You can just draw circles with your entire body. Be sure if you draw circles to go in both directions for balance. So if you go to the right, then also go to the left, and vice versa. The idea here is just finding movement in those wrists. One more breath wherever you are. And then flip the palms to face the sky. The bottoms or the backs of the hands are on the earth. I know it feels super weird to do this, but it's a good stretch for those wrists. Begin to shift your weight slightly back until you feel that sensation. And stay here, or maybe you try to make a fist with those fingers to increase the stretch. We're not shifting our weight here. We're just staying still. And then release that stretch when you're ready. Sit back on your butt, on your heels, and shake those wrists out. Woo! Get all that shaky shake out. I hope they felt it. It feels nice for my body sometimes after doing all that to clap. So if you want to do some claps, feel free to do that for a minute, getting those wrists back in kind of a neutral place. That can feel nice. When you're ready, we'll meet in tabletop. And I know what you naturally want to do here. You want to start your cat-cow. So I'm going to let you do what you want to do. I hope that's actually what you want to do. So on your inhale, lower your belly toward the earth. Reach your chest forward, look up toward the sky. Hold here and breathe, noticing how this feels in your body. tuck your chin and tuck your tailbone for cat, noticing how this feels in your body today. Where can you find a little more release? And then on your next inhale, we'll make this a fluid movement. On your inhale, lower the belly for cow, look up to the sky, exhale, belly up, tuck your chin for cat, and continue flowing through these cat-cows at the pace of your breath. Feel free to add any additional movements here, side to side, front to back, whatever feels good for your body. And then come back to a neutral tabletop at the bottom of your next exhale. Walk your right hand to the middle of your mat beneath your nose and inhale that left arm to the sky. As you exhale, bring that left arm under the right, rest that shoulder, rest the head, and stay right here, or wrap that right hand behind your back toward the left hip, opening that shoulder toward the sky. To open more, you can extend that right leg. Open that right shoulder toward the sky. Maybe you even look up as you open. And at the bottom of your next exhale, bring that knee back in if it's extended. Right hand back to the earth. Inhale, unravel, reach to the sky. Exhale, the left hand comes to the earth beneath the nose. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread that right arm under, come down to rest, rest that head. And stay here, or bring that left arm behind you for the half bind. Maybe you extend the left leg to open a bit more. Allow that shoulder to open to the sky, and maybe your gaze turns up. We're looking for space between the shoulder blades. Opening those shoulders in the back. One more breath. Bring that knee back in. If it is extended, bring the hand to the earth. Inhale, unravel, reach the right arm to the sky, and exhale down to tabletop. Feel free to take a wiggle because we're about to do a little bit of core work. I know you love this. So, when you get your wiggles out, reach your right arm forward, reach your left foot back. Let that foot be flexed, toes pointing toward the earth. Wrist of your hand is as high as your shoulder. The ankle of your leg is as high as your hip. Belly is up toward the sky. Take a big inhale and reach long. Exhale, knee to elbow tap. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, tap. Keep that belly tight. The whole core is active. Exhale, bring it in, tap. Inhale, out. Exhale, tap. Inhale. Exhale. And 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And reach arm and leg out, then bring arm and leg, or hand and knee to the earth. Shake it out if you need. Now you're going to love me for this next thing that we're going to do, because we're going to do quite a bit of it. So you're going to come back to the exact same place. Right arm reaches, left leg reaches. Keep it hip and shoulder height. Inhale, and then as you exhale, keep the elbow and knee straight and come out to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Keep it lifted. Inhale. Exhale. Toes are still flexed the whole time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Controlled movements. We're not flopping. And 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring it back. center and bring 2 hands to knees to the earth. Shake that out. Wasn't that super fun? I know, you're gonna hate me, but all we have for that is one more side and then we're done with that. So, left arm this time, right foot, flex those toes. Press the heel of that foot away from you like you're gonna kick somebody behind you, like you're a horse, sort of. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, exhale. Keep those toes flexed when the leg is extended. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I lost count, so let's say 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And bring it down, shake it out. Now the fun part on this side. Reach your left arm again, right leg. Inhale, exhale to either side. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Keep that foot lifted and the hand. Center and exhale. For 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one. Boy, kick the thing. Inhale, reach to the center and come back down to the earth. Shake it out. See, I told you were going to need these wrists warm. Walk those hands a baby step forward. Send your bum to the sky for downward facing dog. If you have that blanket beneath your knees, it's probably going to get in your way from this point forward, so you can move it if you want to. And take a moment to pedal your feet in down dog. Shake your head, yes and no. Really stretch those legs. Keep that bum lifted toward the sky, pressing the earth away with the hands. My hands are slipping. I hope yours are not. One more breath, and then we work. On your inhale, roll forward, find a good strong plank pose. Notice that there is no dumping in plank. Elbows are firmly, strongly extended. The shoulder blades in the upper back are separated. There's what we call protraction of the shoulder blade. So separate those shoulder blades. Bum is lifted. Hips are not sagging. As you exhale, take it back for downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward for plank. Exhale, down dog. We're going to do this a few more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And 5 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, we got it. And hold your down dog. If your wrists are hurting, feel free, or elbows or anything are hurting, feel free to come to hands and knees. Otherwise, we're staying in down dog. One more breath. And on your inhale, lift the right foot. Flex those toes. Press the heel of the foot strongly away from you. Inhale, roll forward, 3-legged plank. Exhale, split dog. Inhale, 3-legged plank. Exhale, split dog. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. We got it. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Keep that belly in. Engage the core. And bring that foot down to the earth. We got one more side. I'm going to move my blanket up here because my hands keep slipping. Maybe that will help. Maybe it won't, but maybe it will. exhale, dog. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And exhale. Bring that foot to the earth. Bend your knees, lift your hands. Step, float, or hop your way forward. Feet to your hands. And just hang in a forward fold. Let the bum reach toward the sky. Let the head reach toward the earth. Sway side to side, front to back. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Woo! And on your inhale, roll 1 vertebrae at a time up to standing. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating. Of course, I sweat all the time, so it doesn't really mean anything. But anyway, inhale, reach those arms overhead, relaxing the shoulders for Tadasana. As you exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. As you exhale, plant the hands, step back for that plank. Chaturanga, controlled, hover your body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. At the bottom of your second exhale, bend the knees, lift your hands, step, float, hop, or drag your way forward into half lift. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press those feet into the earth, rise to standing. Arms come overhead. And as you exhale, bring those hands to heart center, Samasti Tahi. Wasn't that a fun Surya A? I hope you liked it, because now we've got Surya B, which is, in my opinion, a little bit harder. On your inhale, lift those arms overhead as you sink your bum back into chair. Now, your legs may be a little tired, and they don't want to sink low. Sink low anyway. Use your breath. On your exhale, sink a little lower. Keep those knees even with one another, and sink back into that chair. Belly is engaged, tuck your tailbone. From here, we're going to hold chair, but we're going to shift our weight onto the heels of the feet. Lift the toes. Any amount. Maybe you lift the balls of the feet. And then lower back into chair. If you want to bring your hands to heart center here, that's totally fine. Because we're going to rock back and then flat. Rock back, flat, rock back, flat. 5 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, and last one. Lift those toes, spread them wide, and plant them into the earth. Exhale, straighten the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step, float, or hop back. Chaturanga, bend those elbows, hug them in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot. As you exhale, step the right foot forward to the hands. Left foot comes out and forward. Woo! When you're ready, rise. Right knee bent, left knee straight. Arms overhead. Virabhadrasana, warrior 1. Sink deep in that front thigh. Even deeper. 1 more breath. And on your exhale, plant your hands to the earth. Step the right foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Woo! On your inhale, lift the left foot. Exhale, bring it forward to the hands. Right foot comes out and up. Virabhadrasana 1. Keep a deep bend in that left knee. Maybe you even walk the toes forward so you can get a little bit deeper in that bend. Woo! Feel the burn. As you exhale, sink a little deeper in that front thigh. Keep the the right side of the right foot planted into the earth. Peep toe side. Inhale. forward fold. Inhale, press the feet into the earth. Sink your bum back, upper body lifts, chair pose. Hold this chair with each exhale. Sink a little deeper in those thighs. You can rest the arms if you wish, or keep them extended. One more breath. And then rise to standing. Bring those arms overhead. And exhale, heart center. Take your left foot and send it back, and then swivel to where you're facing the side of your mat. You'll want your ankles in line with one another this way, but they are a little bit wider than hip width, and the toes are pointing slightly outward. On your inhale, raise those arms overhead and make your star pose because you're a star. And then as you exhale, sink into goddess. This doesn't have to be your deepest goddess ever yet. So squeeze those shoulder blades together in the upper back, tuck that tailbone, protecting that lower back, and sink into those thighs. We're gonna pulse. I know you love this. So we're gonna pulse high, and then I'm not gonna tell you what we're doing next. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Wasn't that awesome? Let's get deeper. 10 here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up to star. Wasn't it fun when I made weird accents? Yeah, totally. Okay, let your hands come to heart center. Walk those feet closer together and sink into Malasana. Now, let me take a moment here in Malasana to teach you something or remind you of something that may or may not be very helpful in just a few minutes. Hint, hint. So, in Malasana, it's very easy to just dump down. Well, maybe not for everyone, but we tend to dump down and not really do much of anything in Malasana. That hurts my knees just doing that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna press all 10 toes into the earth, the heels of the feet and all that jazz. If your elbows reach your knees with the thighs, spread them wide with those elbows. Tailbone reaches to the earth and crown of your head reaches to the sky. Here's what may be helpful in a minute. So imagine your pelvic bowl has a string, and the string goes from your up your spine through the top of your head. Envision that you're a marionette puppet. I know, super fun. And the puppeteer is lifting that string. So what's gonna happen? The head is gonna lift a bit, and the pelvic bowl lifts as you're rooting those feet into the earth, right? So does that help you to feel a bit more stable when you're lifting as though you're that marionette puppet? Does that take a little bit of the dumping out of the pelvic bowl and the lower back? I'm gonna take that as a yes. So remember that, the marionette string and the lifting of that pelvic bowl in a few minutes. Okay, now if you wanna play, because your wrists are warm and you love crow pose, we're right here ready for crow. If you don't want to crow, feel free to sit on your bum, because that's where we're coming next. If you want to crow, plant those hands in front of you about shoulder width apart, and you're going to come into chaturanga arms. You may need to come up on the tips of your toes. Let those knees, I lost my train of thought. Let those knees come up into the armpits, bend the elbows, hug them in toward one another, shift your weight forward, lift one foot, or I need to come closer with my feet. Lift one foot, or maybe both feet. And then maybe you hang in crow, or maybe you just kind of shift one foot, the other foot, whatever floats your boat, okay? Or floats your crow, I should say. So remember that pelvic bowl be helpful here in crow as well. It's a little bit different because the crown of your head is not reaching directly up, but you still need that lifting of the pelvis. Okay, play in crow as long as you like, and then we'll come to our seat. Pick a leg. One leg will go on the earth, about parallel to the top of your mat. I'm going to send this leg out because it's getting in the way. You want this knee to come about directly out from the hip, and then you want that ankle to come toward directly out of the other hip, so that this leg is toward parallel with the side of your mat. If that's not happening today, bring that foot in, totally fine. And then cross your other ankle over top. Ooh, I love this pose. This is called fire log pose. So what you want to do is keep those toes flexed, knee over ankle, ankle over knee. If that's not working, feel free to sit crisscross applesauce. You can also come back into Malasana. We're going for a hip opening here. If this is going awesome, you want to go for a half lotus. Bring that top foot toward the hip crease. If lotus is part of your practice and you want to go for full lotus here, feel free. Just know that we haven't done a whole lot of warming up or opening those hips. So if your body is pretty bendy in the hips typically, and you want to go for that full lotus, that's your call. But if lotus is not part of your practice, I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying you may not be as successful as you wish, since we're not warmed up there. So pick one of those spots and breathe. And release. If you have full lotus, release the top foot. And then if you're in half lotus, release that foot. Uncurl or unfold, shake those out. We've got one more side. Bring that opposite leg, whichever one was on top a moment ago, will now go on bottom. Bring that leg toward parallel to the top of or the side of your mat, and bring the opposite leg over top. Stay here if you want, that is beautiful. Or find that half lotus, bring that top leg, or ankle, toward the hip. And then once again, same spiel with full lotus, choose wisely. Find your spot and hang out here. Breathe. And if your mind is wandering, gently remind yourself of your intention. Allow your breath to guide you back to that anchor. One more breath here. When you're ready, begin to unravel. Stretch out those legs, shake them out. Now I know you're thinking, Michelle, we're done. That could not get harder. But we're not. So if you have those blocks, bring them to beside your hips. You can have them on this level. I find it easier in the pose that we're about to do when they're on what I call level 2. So that's where the shorter edge is down, as opposed to that bigger edge on the earth. That would be level 1 in my book, and then here's level 2. You may want level 3, but I personally find level 2 to be the most steady. So, shake those legs out. Woo! And then we're going to come back. Remember, if you remember, which leg was on bottom first. The first time we did this fire log pose, bring it back and then cross the other over top. Stay here in fire log or bring that top foot into half lotus. If you want to come into full lotus here, feel free. If none of these are working for you, crisscross applesauce is lovely. So, bring your hands to those blocks or books or whatever you have, and they're going to be a little bit forward of your hips. You're going to press those hands firmly into the earth, and remember your elbows here. You don't want to put strain on those elbows by pushing out like this with your elbows. So bring them in like those chaturanga or crow arms. Hug those elbows in. Press the hands into the earth. Lift. Remember the marionette thing. Lift that pelvic bowl. Lift the crown of the head. Lift. Press those hands into the blocks or the earth. And breathe. Play here as long as you like, or don't. Whatever you wish, because we've got a whole other side to do. So when you are ready to do the other side, uncross those legs, shake them out. And then back we come. The opposite leg is on bottom this time. You can do crisscross applesauce. You can do fire log. You can do half lotus. You can go for full lotus. Whichever one suits you best today. Bring those blocks back. Hug them close toward, kind of between the hip and the thigh. And press those hands into the blocks or the earth. Hug those elbows together and lift. Lift, lift, lift. Press those hands into the earth to keep you steady. Lift the crown of the head. Lift that pelvic bowl. You may be shaking like I am. That's okay. If you are more like right here, that's just beautiful. Or even if it's hard to get off the earth, totally cool. You are where you are. You're honoring the journey. So wherever you are, you're gonna lift. Even if your bottom is on the earth, I want you to keep lifting through the crown of the head. This is work. There's work going on. Breathe, and then as you exhale, lower all the way down. Release, shake out those arms if you need to. Send the blocks off to the side and unravel those legs. Woo! That was fun, right? We kind of flew a little bit. We kind of levitated a little bit. Wasn't that awesome? All right. From here, I didn't do a good job of time management, so we're going to have to go ahead and come onto our backs because we're running out of time. So lower down onto your back. Let those knees bend. Let the right foot come to the right side of the mat, the left foot to the left side, and meet those knees up in the middle. Take a big inhale, sending both knees to the right side, and hold here. Feel that stretch throughout the legs, the thighs, a little bit of a twist in the hips, and the lower back. On your next exhale, send both knees to the left side and hold. Breathe here. If you want to let out a sigh, feel free. It's a day for that, I think. I think Mondays are great days for sighing. Inhale, bring those knees back to center. And here, we'll just windshield wipe side to side, so you can find movement between those two places, the right and the left side. Just letting those knees fall. If your wrists are feeling a little worked, you can draw some circles in both directions with the wrists. Maybe do some yogi claps, stretching out those wrists. And then on your next inhale, bend those knees if they're not already bent. Bring them in toward the belly. Press the lower back into the earth. And rock side to side if you wish, or front to back. Whatever feels nice for your body. If you'd like to find a happy baby here, go for it. Knees go wide, bottoms of the feet come together. I personally am finding ninja baby, which is those straight legs, to be pretty awesome at this moment with all that knee flexion we've been doing. So take a moment here listening to your body. If there's any other pose or movement or anything that your body needs before you feel ready to rest in Shavasana, which is our final resting pose, take a moment to do whatever your body needs. If you need a little bit of back bending, feel free to find your bridge pose. Lifting those hips with the bottoms of the feet to the earth. If you like your happy baby, feel free to stay there. You want to take a shoulder stand or plow pose, go for it. And whatever else your body needs before final resting pose, feel free to give your body what it needs. When your practice for the hour feels complete, make your way to your Shavasana, your final resting pose. You can use any props that you might have to support you. You can lay your arms down by your hips or reach them overhead. You can bend those knees or stretch them out long. The options are pretty much endless. Allow yourself to unwind a little bit more. Maybe your eyes close or soften your gaze. Take a big inhale in through your nose. And exhale, let it go. Inhale. Bring back to your mind's eye your intention. Tell it thank you. And as you exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, tense up every single muscle that you have in your body. Like you're going to try to lift your body off the earth by tensing those muscles. And then as you exhale, release them all. Sink into the earth. Allow yourself to simply be. Like to remain here in Shavasana, feel free to rest as long as you like. When you're ready to move again, wiggle fingers and toes, stretch your arms overhead, reach side to side. And if it's right for you, roll over to your right or your left side in the fetal position for a few final moments to simply be. Ready. Press the hands into the earth. Begin to make your way to a seated position. Your eyes remaining closed or your gaze softened and hands at heart center. Take a big inhale in through your nose.